We're ready for you.
Where's my...
By the way, episode 5. Space, the final frontier. Fun tier. I should probably pull up the show notes, huh?
Shh. Welcome back. This is episode 5 of Horseplay. Right here, starting. You guys are wondering what that music is, and I'm going to tell you. It's a game that we've been playing. We're going to get to that in a second. But my name right here is Obi1X2, and I'm your host. We have our other two hosts. I don't even know if I'm saying it right, but anyway, Yogizilla up top, and we have Soldierism right down and right below him. And we're just bringing you Horseplay. This is it. Horseplay. Here we go. We are going to be right back. I just want to do a little bit of few things. Get you guys saying, hey, we're here, but we are going to be right back. We do have a guest today. Let me turn this music off because I'm going to screw myself over. We do have a guest today, and it's Mark Jordan of Armada Online. We're really excited. All three of us have been playing this game. Yes, guys, I did get in it. But we've all been playing this game, so we're really excited about it. So we will be right back with Mark Jordan from Armada Online. So stay tuned. Don't leave. We just started. We'll be right back, guys. Where's my music?
Can you hear me?
We can. 1 second, sir. We'll get right into it here in a moment.
How is everybody doing this evening?
Oh, I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm all right. I hear it's cold out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry about this. I didn't know my Skype and my camera was going to do all this crap. So it kind of screwed me up a little bit.
Can we jump into it yet, or are we doing the intermission still?
Are you guys broadcasting right now?
Oh yeah. But
He's trying
Obi,
to get the
My
trying to
first-
get the pictures all messed
Yeah,
put to where they need to be.
There it is. Finally. Yeah, like I said, I'm sorry, man. It's just I didn't think it was going to do all this.
No, this is all wonderful. This was the stuff of science fiction when I was a child.
Right.
yeah, no kidding.
You are comfortable with camera?
Sure.
Okay. Just making sure.
Yeah, I've been prepping Mark for this moment for like what, it's been like a week and a half now, back and forth.
He urged me to give it a shot.
I
I'm feeling
did.
a bit better.
I used my powers of persuasion.
Oh, really? I'm not gonna say anything. I ain't saying nothing.
So are we
Because if I do, that's when I get in trouble. Give me a second.
are we good to chat now, or we could do
Refresh.
introductions before we jump into the main spiel, the main event?
Yeah, we're gonna get here in a second. Why is it not working?
Cause Mark's a family man like me, so at any moment his wife and kids might pull him away.
Yeah, I know. That's why I want to hurry up and get this going.
Us
Alright.
old folk know how that is. Unlike
I do.
Soldier, who's got no responsibilities.
Ah, youth.
No responsibilities for anything.
Oh, that's because I put the baby to bed at 10.
Jeez Louise.
Put the
Alright,
baby
he
to
is
bed
on.
at 10. All right.
Soldier's toughest decision is figuring out what side of the bed he'll get off of in the morning.
No, because the wife's home before I get out of bed.
Damn, not even that. You have
The
it
biggest
easy.
question
That's
is,
funny.
the biggest question is, do I leave
All
a
right.
light on for her on the porch or not?
Mark.
From what I gather, what I saw just on the outside interface, do you guys play like League of Legends together and then transmit?
Sometimes, yeah.
We play a
Basically,
lot of
sometimes.
games together. What we do in the show is basically we all provide a different perspective. Obi's very big on the League of Legends and competitive scene. I'm more into the indie game scene because I think mainstream developers have lost their sense of fun. It's all the same regurgitated crap, which we'll get into. And Soldier's kind of in between. And he's young, so he's impressionable. He's malleable still, so we just tell him what to play.
I am open-minded, sir.
Open. No, you can't even use that shit, dude. No, hell no.
Regardless of the studio, whether large or small, are developed by pretty serious craftsmen.
Right. All right, here we go.
And whether there are some pressures, there's a tendency toward being maybe more conservative with a larger studio because you've got a lot of investment, whereas with independent studio,
Well, welcome back, guys. We're actually talking Ralph line too. Welcome back to Horseplay. This is Obi-Wan X2, Yogi up top, Soldierzilla. Yeah, I don't even know why. Yogizilla up top. Soldierism up bot. And we have with us Mark Jordan of Armada Online. Welcome, Mark.
Hello.
Sorry.
So we're officially started now. That was a
We are
really long
officially started.
intermission.
Sorry about the intermission. My camera went crazy, guys, so I apologize for that.
I don't know if it means anything, but on the interface I'm looking at, you still don't show up.
Me?
Yeah. OBO next to.
Oh, you're not going to see him on Skype.
Oh,
he's
yeah,
on
yeah,
Twitch.
yeah.
I'm actually
doesn't
on
put-
Twitch because
Yeah.
it doesn't want to do right for some. My camera is crazy.
Okay.
It's one of those weird anomalies where you can't have the same device shared in two places. So he's using it on Twitch and not on Skype. The
Okay.
magic
I
of the
just think
internet.
it's better. Right. So, Mark, what are the first question I have for you? I guess we just started off right now. Is when you were a kid, like you said before, this was non-existent. Did you think you would ever be what you are today?
Well, when I was a kid, I was playing games on the Atari 2600 and small LED handhelds. When I first started out, I was into animation, stop motion animation, figuring out how to do more traditional art and animation.
Okay.
And then over time, I guess by high school, advances in the microchip had made it more possible for people to do video games. And I didn't own a computer at the time, but my first video game I started developing was in high school and by borrowing my friend's Mac. we made a game for the Mac called Amoeba Arena. At the time, the Macintosh was by far the best system for developing games. It had the best sound, the best graphical capability. But pretty much most of the people I know that are in the industry, even though games weren't very sophisticated, they were pretty taken with them early on.
Right. Well, I know the first game system that I got was an Atari, which, you know, oh my God, I get to play video games? Really? Do I get to? Yes.
Right. There was a culture of the arcades. They were something remote and distinct.
Mm-hmm.
And then with the home systems, there were actually some ones that were earlier. You can see them in museums these days. And they were pretty ambitious. They would do things like have a light gun, a steering wheel, various other, like Pong. Usually it was 2 Pong dials. One of them was a triangular unit.
I do remember that, unfortunately. Does that tell you how old I am, too?
Pong was really cool.
Once people started playing games at home, there was a different sort of engagement because you could have a young mind in a Zen state for hours instead of the rhythm of the quarter eating machine, which, you know, a lot of those were really great.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a beginning of a cultural shift when they started moving into the home. It changed the human machine relationship.
Thank you.
Oh,
Go ahead, Yogi.
Well, he almost got me started on the whole arcade scene thing there. That's a whole different ball game there. Like the paradigm shift there. I remember arcade used to be so big, and I think as the consoles got more advanced, the arcade started dying off. I wonder if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but we'll get into that later.
It's just evolution, because once the hardware was powerful enough, if the home system presents a superior version of Soul Calibur,
Good one, good choice.
That was the big one.
Yeah.
Wow, the arcade version of Soul Calibur looks awful compared to
Yeah.
the Dreamcast version.
It does. It really does.
That's true, actually. It was always, for a long time, I think the cusp of that was around 95-ish, more or less, where suddenly the home hardware started getting strong enough where the arcade versions weren't as sexy. And you started saying, wait a minute, the arcade version is always supposed to look better. And then that stopped being the case, especially in like 2000. It's like, well, that's it, we're done now. And the arcades, like, it pretty much started dying off. It's kind of sad to me.
Well, it's interesting because earlier, before we started broadcasting, you were talking a little bit about the difference between some of the risks that indie developers would take and the conservatism of larger projects. That also, there was a parallel in the death of the arcade business, where it used to be, I would go into the arcade and it would be full of these very extraordinary, wondrous, very divergent things. And then once the arcade business started to feel some pressure from the home business, I noticed that there was a trend toward conservatively veering toward like racing games.
Yeah.
And more on the VR, but less on taking risks with characters and personality.
Yeah.
It was a parallel shift, and I think it really contributed to the death of arcades. Whereas in Asia, though, when I visited Taiwan, I was surprised that there was a lot of risk taking. It was so risky that it was like a lawsuit waiting to happen. If some of these machines were in America, one of them, they've got these 2 bars and you're basically slamming into each other to sit somebody's arm off, or different sorts of arm breaking things, or weird twisted tentacle-like interfaces. Oh, I see you have a cat back there.
I've seen some crazy things. Is Soldier's cat exploring
Soldier's
over
cat.
there?
Hey, yeah.
He's going crazy right now.
He's a ham. He's a ham. That one.
That's which one are you talking about? That's Luna. That's not the ham.
Well,
No, I kicked the ham outside. It's cold out there. He needs to cool off.
oh, that's not nice.
You're so
No, he
mean,
went-
man.
He went outside of his own accord. That's where the cat food is.
Well, Mark, it seems like we can have a lot of good conversations. So what I want to do, I know your time is limited of being a family man like myself, not like these other kids here who don't have any responsibilities, soldier. What we gotta do is go through some questions. Yeah, exactly. We'll go through some questions and then we'll have a more open conversation. I definitely want to come back to the whole indie versus mainstream developer thing because I know there's a lot of business
We have
pressures
an Andy
involved.
segment here in a minute.
Yeah, we have that too. I don't know if Mark can stay for the whole thing though.
We'll
but
see what happens.
But I definitely I can appreciate. I'll just say real quick, and we'll revisit this if we have enough time. But I know with the bigger developers, you know, there's financial restraints or constraints, whichever way you want to say it, and venture capital you got to worry about, and making sure your investors are happy and your shareholders are happy and your angels are happy, depending what you're going on. Where a truly indie project is like, well, you know, if I fail, the only person that absorbs the risk is me, and I don't have to worry about anyone else, you know. But you also are kind of restricted by your budgetary issues, right? But we actually have a few questions that relate to that, so we'll come back to that. That's going to open up a whole can of worms.
My summary on that is that there's no real conflict, that we just benefit from a variety of wonderful works of art that happen to come from different sources, just like we might see an independent French movie one day or The Hobbit another day, and enjoy them in ways.
So would you say it's more when in the indie development scene? Would you say it's more about the love of the art, doing the labors of art, and less about financial? I mean, obviously, that you always want to make money. You know, you got to make a living somehow. But would you say it's more about the creativity and creating things you would love to appreciate yourself if you were on the outside?
You have to view it in terms of there are games that exist that are made by one or two people, and that's made possible by the fact that those one or two people are capable of doing a lot of the jobs required to produce a fully functioning game. There's just the reality of existence and non-existence, and if you have 100 people working on a project, you have these wonderful things that would be insane for one or two people to attempt. And when one or two people feel the impulse to bring something to life, sometimes that can be very special and have a unique voice in terms of finding that in certain games. Like, it's not a fantastic example, but if you think about a game like World of Warcraft, it's really huge, but it still has an identifiable, unique voice that any given screenshot, because of the style of the art, you can tell it has its stamp. And then there are certain indie games that they still bear that individual stamp and style. That's an appealing thing, that no matter what the size of the team or where it originated, country, independent or otherwise, it's very valuable to try to preserve that uniqueness, the style, the voice. For Armada, when we started out, we wanted to make a space game. We were very inspired by Starflight, but I also wanted to make sure that space was not a dry place, but that it felt organic, alive, colorful, a vision of space that was born of the imagination and my personal interest in what are known as extremophiles, the biology you might find on Earth in the very extreme conditions of the deepest parts of the ocean or near thermal vents at boiling temperatures, things like that.
I like it. Yeah, and you beat me to the punch, because that was one of our questions. Some of the inspiration of that. We'll let you elaborate more on that. But actually, for the people that are not in the know, you know, and they're hearing about Armada Online for the first time, whether they're watching us live or checking out the recording on YouTube or Twitch afterwards, or Stitcher, wherever we end up distributing these episodes. What's your 30-second elevator pitch to describe what Armada Online is?
It's a science fiction game. You take the role of a captain. You're commanding a starship. And in terms of the uniqueness of the development, is we built it as a game platform where we could keep sliding in new games, new ways of playing, whether it's tower defense or a Dota-like game, into the structure, and it wouldn't be a jarring, divergent jump. That you're still visualizing yourself in this one way as this one character, but through different allies or interacting with different star bases, you might have a new instrumentality, a new way of playing. Instead of just piloting your starship to hunt down aliens and explore, you might be building stations at certain positions, waiting for an incoming wave, calling for your allies, and then later on, if you feel like it, you could play competitively, player versus player on a map that would be very comfortable and familiar to people that like the games like League of Legends and Defense of the Ancients.
Do we have a James? Do we have a?
We do have a question from a viewer, and
Okay.
this question said, and that Lucasa is the viewer, and Mark, what did you specifically do for Armada Online?
Well, all of the design, most of the art, all the special effects, anything that was not the programming, pretty much. I would use Excel for building of the game structures and the AI scripts,
Mhm.
and Photoshop and 3D Studio for the art, and the effects mostly I would use a Wacom tablet and Photoshop.
Okay. Hope that answers your question there, Lucasa.
So you're the one that I can blame for my nightmares of crabs chasing me.
Yes, I had the same one, dude, last night. I don't even want to talk about it. We are going to talk about it, though, in a few minutes.
A long time ago, Roger and I started out with a company called Metro 3D, and we made a game called Armada for the Dreamcast.
So you guys were part of Metroid, Metro 3D.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So it started out with just Roger and I working on a really old game called Star Command, which was one of the first online RTS games. It was a straight RTS.
Mhm.
And then when we got an opportunity to make our first console game for the Dreamcast, then we were looking at how can we make the characters more organic and more exciting. And then a concept artist from Taiwan named Sean Tsai developed the original crab design, and we went through all sorts of concepts for like octopus type things, crabs, whatever. And I was very interested in the idea. I'm a big fan of science fiction, and I was very interested in the idea of a spacefaring life form. And I enjoyed the tension between something that is very gigantic and overpowering and monstrous, but also feels like on a higher scale a macro organism, and then we are the microorganisms engaging them. And I like that it provided a sense of mystery and discovery, that the player is hunting them and trying to learn about them. The Dreamcast game, we implemented it as sort of like a gauntlet 4-player. It was a 4-player action game. And many years later, here we are trying to get Armada Online approved on Steam Greenlight and get it out on the PC. It has been a very, very long journey,
Definitely.
but a lot of fun.
Well, you got our support, especially now that I know that you guys are the original people on from the Dreamcast game. I loved that game. I can't tell you how many people I would have come over for parties. We get some alcoholic beverages and play that for hours and have laughs and just enjoy it. Phenomenal game.
It was all right.
So, actually, I like to build upon that. Having played Armada on the Dreamcast and loving it. It was on the GameCube too, wasn't it? At one point, it was just strictly Dreamcast, right?
We started developing the sequel so the first game, we had 7 months to produce our first console game. We pretty much slept under the desk. It was an interesting.
Oh man.
And then we were told that we would have a bigger budget and we could make Armada 2 for PlayStation 2 and GameCube. But there was some strangeness and politics, and eventually we had to leave. It was basically the story of not getting paid.
Yeah, because I remember it being announced like a preview or something, and I said, "Oh, Armada 2 is gonna come out," and I was so excited. Then it just disappeared. I said, "Ah, must have been politics."
It's a very common story in not only the games business but also in movies that very often you'll sign a contract and then the negotiation time will come when it finally comes time for you to get paid. It just recently happened. A very big public version of it happened with the Call of Duty developers.
Oh, yeah.
That's very common.
Mhm.
Very common in the business,
So
unfortunately.
I know we had a conversation about this a bit, Mark, and I like the explanation you gave, but for everyone else wasn't privy to the conversation, I was kind of surprised to see the choice of going with point and click over a more real time action oriented kind of style, like you had in the Dreamcast version of Armada. So, what was the design logic in that decision of having the point and click?
So for Armada Online, we definitely wanted to facilitate multiplayer. That was our main goal, was to bring people together, have relatively large groups of people on different systems from different parts of the world, and have it all be for real. That if you see a shot on the screen, it's really there. There's no difference between what you see on your screen and my screen. It's using our fundamentals that we learned on Star Command with a synced state. It's a fully synced state, basically. So also because you're controlling a starship, then we felt that the method we came up with felt good. It was the right balance, and it provided an actual experience that what you see is what's really happening on the server and on everybody else's machine. And different online games do it different ways. It would be very strange to have things work that way in a first-person game, but as I'm sure you know, playing a first-person game, everything is sort of approximated. In order to give you that, if a game makes the trade-off of giving you instantaneous response locally on your client, then that means by definition, nobody else is seeing exactly what you're seeing. To cover that in a first-person game, usually you're dealing with a traditional firearm, and when you shoot, you see a flash, and if you're basically facing in the direction of your target, then they have a balance of, is that person moving? Are you still? They try to give you game incentives to stand still, and all these things add up to a cohesive experience that's basically fun. But for Armada Online, we found this place where we're presenting you a field, and you can see a lot of characters, like 200 different characters, and all of them are firing shots, and you can individually weave your way through those shots, and it's all for real. Things aren't exploding in space and dealing damage close to you based on what the server is reading or some other approximation.
Okay.
It's all real.
Definitely. Well, Mark. Oh wow.
We have an echo. Where's it coming from?
Mr. Jordan. I'm a big World of Warcraft player, and I play lots of War Thunder. And are there any aspects of Armada Online that would pull a gamer like me into Armada?
Definitely, there's a lot of long-term growth and elements of exploration. The emphasis in the long term ends up being your relationships with other players more than, like, you might have a big quest structure in Warcraft.
Okay.
But I mean, just try it. It's a lot. I think it's a lot of fun.
Well, I have tried. Wow, man, I got to scoot back, I guess, a little bit. I did try it. I've been playing it the last couple of days, and some of the little stuff where you think, well, I wish it had windowed, or I wish it had this, or I wish it had that.
You can
All
play
around, I couldn't find it for some reason. I couldn't find windowed mode. So But I'm not really the smartest kind of gamer anyway, so really.
Shortcut is Shift Enter.
Say again.
Hold down Shift and press Enter.
Thank you very much. I will do that.
Okay. So I'm a big MMO fan, and was there any other MMOs that kind of helped you draw ideas from it for your Armada Online? Was there any ideas drawn from other MMOs?
In terms of the relationship between the player, the screen, and what they're fighting, it's sort of like the mechanics of Diablo in that you're focused on one character in the center, and you're evaluating your position. Are you surrounded? Is damage coming this way? But the place of origin and inspiration is more like games like StarCraft or Star Command, or
So space oriented.
hybrid. It's a hybrid of like a Diablo StarCraft.
Okay.
So whenever I hear about MMOs, my concerns usually, is there gonna be a lot of grinding? Are there gonna be balancing issues? And do I have to worry about microtransactions being thrown in? So how are you guys kind of preparing to cater to both the casual and hardcore gamers, while kind of having a sustainable business model as well?
So I am personally not a big fan of microtransactions. So
Good to hear.
I just wanted to release a game, and there might be a free version of it where you can be two of the races, and then if you want to buy the game, you can play as the other races. In terms of grind, the update that I'm working on right now reduces the experience requirement per level, and also it does something where I think what the users were asking for is I'm adding a layer where you can get higher level drops as a higher level player, killing something that's lower level. So if you want to escort a level 1 player through a certain area, you're still getting drops that are interesting to whatever you might be crafting or trying to build. And then the lower level player just doesn't get those types of drops.
So you're making appropriate scaling, basically.
Yeah, you would still get, it's basically, let's say there's 5 things that it can drop. 3 of them will be available to the lower level player.
Sounds good.
To the higher level player.
You could hear from Soldier that he was actually really excited about that comment, because when he played with me, he said, "Man, no, earlier was that you laughing, or I thought it was
that was Obi that went.
That was
yes.
me. I was like, yes.
Oh.
Yay.
Well, I know Soldier was kind of having a rough time because he felt like he had to grind quite a bit to just level up once. So that's huge news for us. All right, go ahead, Obi. Take it away.
All right. Now, Mark, I'm gonna be honest with you, dude. At first glance, when this game was I didn't even know it existed. Sorry. Yogi's like, dude, you need to try this game out. It's actually pretty decent. So we didn't try it out. What would you say? Let me rephrase the question. Who would you say your core gamers are for this game?
People who like multiplayer games that you can express yourself and be creative with.
Okay.
You can play PvP, like somebody who likes a game like Defense of the Ancients can have a lot of fun with this. And if somebody just wants to hunt and play more casually, they can do that too, but in a different area of the game.
So
or if they like tower defense, they can play the tower defense type maps.
Okay.
Now, do you already have PvP in the? Are you already working on how to incorporate it, or is that just a future plan?
No, as far as I'm concerned, the most fun part of the game is the PvP. It's in neutral zone. So if you warp to the neutral zone,
Oh, okay.
then that plays exactly. If you play League of Legends or Defense of the Ancients, you will be very comfortable playing in the neutral zone.
Okay.
That's why I got jumped when I went through there. I got demolished. I was like, what did I do?
Part of the reason why I'm trying to speed up the leveling is I'm going to also include some missions so that the people that want to rush straight to being in the serious hardcore matches, they can get there faster if they want to play that way. If you want to just keep repeatedly playing the PvP zone, you can get up to that level, get the right items, and you can think of it like maybe the first 15 minutes of configuration and early gameplay in a match of Defense of the Ancients would be like how you permanently are, and then when you jump in, then that's the mid and late game would be the balancing I'm going for. So your long-term growth is a foundation, and you definitely have a role. Like you might be the type of player that is interested in stealth, and you've built up this ship that has a combination of skills, captain skills, and ship systems that your area effect, cloaking people, speeding them up. You have a weapon that can remove one target from the game, and then your ally might go for teleportation, quick jumping in, placing down mines that give you sight, detection, and also can disrupt the enemy if they run into it. And then your opponents might go for things like teleportation across long distances, building a small station that people can use as a portal. It definitely has that element of all of these Dota type games where the players bring the game. Like each hero really changes the way you play, and in the PvP you feel it. If you're going up against somebody that's an amazing healer and is great at covering different places with teleportation, or if you're going against somebody who's just really on the ball with stealth and hunting down individual targets or disrupting, you feel it and you have to change, you have to adapt. And for me, that's the fun of that type of game, is the freshness that the players bring and the combination of players.
Man,
I can't
even follow that up. That sounds awesome. Go ahead. What else did you have to say about that?
When I was first introduced to the genre, I thought of it as being like a turbo speed RPG, that you have all of the choices that you would have in a bigger long-term role-playing game, but it's compressed into 40 minutes to an hour. And I just really love it, and that's why it's a big part of Armada Online. I also enjoy tower defense, so that's another place. When people are in the mood for that, they can just warp to a place called the Burn.
Yes.
And if you warp to the Burn, you can pick different powers that let you build like a small station where if you die, you get rebuilt there, or you can build another station that detects, or one that has a long-range gun to hit things a little early, or you can build another station and upgrade it, and that station deals a lot of damage and it's great, but it's also increasing your ship's maximum damage. So you have to balance between buffing your individual ship stats and trying to get diverse functionalities like disintegration. In the game, there's a variable of disintegration. Some of the enemies that come at you, when they die, they explode and deal damage, or they split into separate other little creatures. And if you have disintegration, if somebody on your team does, then that can mitigate the threat.
Hey Yogi, are you writing all these strats down so we can use this stuff in later games?
Well, I think after we go through the rest of the questions we had in mind, I think we should definitely talk some more tips and tricks, because I'm telling you, I went to the Burn and I was playing with Soldier. I don't know what Obi was doing. We're trying to get him to join us, and we got demolished. But I was having so much fun. It's just so intense when you're getting all these hordes of enemies flying in, and then you're like, oh, this isn't too bad. And then the Claw Lord comes and goes, hi, how you doing? Bye. And you're dead.
Dunk.
I love how all these guys, Yogi and everybody else there, is like level 2 to 15, and here I am a level 1, and they're all running away, and I'm just flying in like, who cares?
Right. That's another thing about the game. If you're low level and you get these powers, you can get buffed pretty fast. You can be dealing 200 damage or be as strong as anybody, but that's only for that one mission. And then once you win or lose the burn, then those powers, you would have to come back and try again a different way, build yourself a different way.
I think it's really neat how you have a balance between persistent upgrades, and then you have the stuff that that it's kind of like just for that instance. That's really neat to have that.
That was key to allowing us to basically develop a new game per area. It can be very divergent. You can have all these different experiences through this concept of the powers that the player can invest in powers. One way, it's like you're building a relationship, a political relationship, or getting an ally that's giving you this ability. And then once you win or lose, destroy the starbase or defend against the onslaught and the burn, then it's done. You warp out, you're yourself again. And then you can grow, you find new objects, you can build items. You're getting stronger, but you can also wildly vary your play experience, try on new hats, whatever. And definitely try the burn, the three of you. Since nobody knows about the game currently, you have a rare opportunity of basically owning that and having a very unique experience, just the three of you. It's achievable with just you three, but it might take.
We had 4 people, and it was rough.
Well, I think this is what I think we need. Us 3, and then all of a sudden, Mark just joins the game. Mark, carry us, bud.
He saves the day.
Help. More people definitely help. And on the subject of people not knowing the game exists, I really appreciate you guys spreading the word. It's a very difficult business, and if you're not known, it's basically like you don't exist at all.
Exactly.
And Steam Greenlight is wonderful. It's an opportunity to be out there, but you're basically on your own. It's a flat line unless like there's a graph of people checking the game out and saying, "Oh, this is cool. I'll vote for this." And it's a 1-for-1 match for whenever I've said anything. It doesn't just happen on its own. You might get like +5 votes without doing anything, and then maybe 2,000 on one day or 1,000. And the numbers they require are enormous.
Oh yeah, I can imagine.
We're still like maybe 2,000 to 4,000 votes away from being even in a place where you can be seen, which is the top 100. That's all of my friends who are developing games. That's their goal, to get on the top 100 list.
Well, one thing I noticed.
You just make sure you tell all your friends though.
Yeah.
Hey, they need beta testers. Hey, us 3, we're ready. We'll take. Just tell us what to do. We'll play it for you.
I'm happy if people just play the game and have a good time with it.
Mm-hmm.
The numbers that you need to be greenlit, it seems to be like in the realm of 50,000 yes votes. It's pretty high. I mean, it seems insurmountable.
It sounds about right though.
A lot of people go for it, and it's really brilliant on Steam's part, because then there's an audience already there. It's worth their while.
Definitely.
It makes sense. It's logical.
Well,
sorry about that, Yogi. I kind of jumped in on top of you.
No, it's all right. I mean, it's just so many things to say. One thing I'll say on the Steam Greenlight, I've seen a lot of games that have been greenlit, and I'm not impressed by them at all. So for a game that I think is the best thing to slice bread, and I feel really needs to become a full release, I'm gonna do as much as I can to help it go viral. You know how I feel about it already, Mark. But the other thing I wanted to say real quick was about how with the way you have the ability set up and the mission only kind of upgrades, what I like about that is that, see, one of the biggest problems with the MMO for me is that I have to create multiple alts. I have commitment issues when it comes to MMOs. I can't just have one character or a main. I have 3 mains and about 20 different alts. Because by the time I finally get to a level where playing that character is fun, I realize I built him the wrong way. Oh, and I can reset him, but I have to grind to get all these items in order to reset him, or I have to pay actual real money to reset him, or I have to just start the character all over again, and I hate that. So I like this because you could set up a long-term building strategy, but at the same time, if there's a certain role that's needed for a scenario, you could evolve into that as well, and like you said, try on different hats. So that's awesome.
So in terms of design, we of course give you the ability, you can totally reset your character and your ship and retrain your skills too. That's fine, but what I wanted to do is do this subtle thing where as you're playing the game going forward, you have these little opportunities to try things that are like how you are currently and like how you can become, so that by the time you're going to make the choice, you already know what suits you, like what's your thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then it makes it stronger for the user that this is their identity. I see people very powerfully connect and fall in love with their ship, and they very much visualize themselves as this little creation on the screen. And that is greatly helped by giving the player opportunities, introductions to using their current skills at a higher level on a particular map, or even getting a power that lets you temporarily use this type of weapon. And if that interests you, you might make an alt that is built around that as more of a specialist in that trait. So for example, in the neutral zone, you could get a power that makes you invisible all the time if you're not attacking. And it can make you undetectable for a very short amount of time. You can play around with that, and if you say, stealth is really my thing, and whenever we play, I find myself fitting into that role, then that lets you make a more informed decision about how you want to be.
So kind of like having a sampler platter in a new restaurant. You get to try on different things and see what you really like. So when you actually make your full order and commit, you're like, hey, I like this.
The most basic and clear example of that principle is in neutral zone. If you get a power called Quantum Core, it immediately boosts all of your ship systems to level 4. So if you're just starting out, then you're getting a preview of what it's going to be at a higher level. And then you can even get like something called Singularity, which is a power that in like a pro game is to remove people from the game in an area. So like if you want to cut the enemy group in half for a few seconds, or if somebody's just about to kill somebody, you can use it defensively or however you want to use it. But it also boosts all of your abilities to max level, and you can get a real feel for what do I want to invest in the long term.
All right, so you made me think about two different questions here. The first one, you mentioned a few times about crafting, and that's one of those things that makes MMO or just any kind of game really immersive and gives it high replay value. So it seems like you already have a good amount of crafting in there. How big is crafting going to be in the final product, so to speak, as you envision it right now?
Right now, crafting a lot of it is good, but it does have some issues. One of the issues is that it pretty much only appeals to people that are very extremely into crafting, which has a benefit of there are these sellers and traders, and they really are very ingenious about getting materials, and they have a lot of fun setting up a shop and selling it. But I felt that there should also be a very strong parallel secondary method of getting items. Currently, there's not. Currently, all of the items come from either you crafting it yourself or from other players crafting it. And what I'm working on is that you can solve missions for planets and get items that are not as good as what people can craft, but are still viable alternatives.
So with that in mind, actually, leads me to my next question: is there other plans to have like a virtual kind of economy, or I don't, not microtransactions, but like in the game, like something that goes into storyline, kind of like you remember Wing Commander Privateer?
Sure.
So something like that, where you could trade, you could be a merchant, or you could be more of a bounty hunter type person.
All of the in-game trading and that segment of the game will occur on planets, and in terms of players trading between each other, they can do whatever they want, but we're not going to be selling anything. We're not going to be doing any microtransactions. Okay, another very important thing in the items that is not currently there, but once things get rolling on the Steam version, is we're reintroducing activated effects on the items.
Yeah.
And what was very important there, is I wanted lower level items to remain interesting, so that if you got a really rare, interesting item that lets you place down a bomb, or is a quick teleport, or does a unique effect of reducing your target's percentage of their health, I wanted you to really treasure that level 5 or level 10 item and have it stay in your inventory and maybe even be desirable to a collector. That's currently missing from the game.
Uh, are you going to have, what are the penalties for actually dying in the game? Is there going to be like you lose all your items, or what are you planning for penalties of dying in game?
So in the different areas, you feel the consequences of death differently, though it doesn't appear differently. So it's always the same. You die, you see your ship, you're getting hurt initially, and you have a very strong sense of emergency, that your ship is on fire. You can see that things are not going well. And then the moment you die, then a variety of things happen. First of all, if you're in the open exploration area, just however far away you had gone, you're not there anymore. You're back to the beginning. So if you were alone, then that's a big problem, because if everybody in that group died, you're no longer able to engage that boss you found. You're kicked back to the beginning. And then we have these things called energy pods and power pods. They're permanent in the area, but when you die, they're wiped. So you get a bit of a damage bonus and a bit of a energy regeneration bonus. So the player feels like not losing those. Once you've been slowly acquiring them after killing guys, you get these little power-ups. You don't want to die because they're gone. They're wiped. When you're playing PvP, every death feels pretty bad. You're letting your team down. Suddenly the dynamics change, and the enemy team is +1. It's just snowballing against you, and you're out for a short time, 20 seconds.
So basically, it's basically if you lose, you get a little minor penalty, and then you can get back into it.
But you always respawn consistently at half health and half shields, and this has an interesting effect on the user's behavior. Because you are reborn not at full strength, it affects the way they move right away and the way they regard what is their next action that they're going to do. Usually on most maps, it's to find a place of healing and sit tight for a moment.
Unless you're... Go ahead, sorry.
I can just say that I was just going to say, you might be under duress, you're losing a base and people are screaming for you to get there, then you might go in wounded.
Right. Well, unless you're a soldier and he doesn't care if he's got 1 hit point, he's going in balls to the wall.
Hey,
Yeah,
I always get out alive.
Some players are healers anyway, so they can go in.
But
a little bit differently. But you wanted to make you feel the consequences of death, and you feel risk and loss.
Mm-hmm.
It's not crippling, and really nothing permanent is lost. It's not like you're dropping your items, except for the power pods. People can get pretty upset when they, after X amount of time, could be 20 minutes, have fully potted up. It's a very small percentage of your total ability, but the idea of losing it is I was fully potted up and now I'm wiped.
right. Well, hey, I did get another question. He's not on the stream actually, but it's one of my friends that is watching, but he can't chat. So I'm actually just gonna do it off my phone. And it's actually one of my questions that I was going to ask right now, actually. So he said, what was the major inspiration in making this game, and why?
Well, Roger and I make games, and we really love doing it. for this particular game, we wanted to make something that captured the spirit that we experienced when playing Starflight. It's a really old PC game.
Mhm.
It's got a sense of vastness. I'm a big fan of science fiction, so that guided me toward that genre.
Okay.
I really enjoy exploring ideas in terms of using that mechanisms of science fiction where you take an idea and really take it to an extreme through applying the concept of distance and enormous distances and enormous time. So in terms of the inspiration for the storytelling of Armada, that all of the races are basically humans, but they've diverged through long separation, different major incidents, events that cause them to break apart from the core of humanity. It's a fun place to explore ideas. In terms of the fun sort of just simple bouncy mechanics of the game, I like games where you can see the playfield and millimeters matter. You can make a decision about position, and it's this rapid chess game going on. It's very exciting. You definitely feel in the moment.
Definitely.
Mark, what are like your inspirations and your hobbies and your favorite activities? I mean, just you as a person.
We're getting off the gaming topic for a second.
Sure. I have 3 kids, so I've definitely learned a lot about humanity just watching them go from 0 to 9 and 11.
And
I have twins.
okay.
Oh.
Okay, I'm like,
There
wait,
you
you said
go.
3.
Yeah. They really love board games and card games, and lately they've actually been playing Dota 2 a little bit. They're not allowed to play much because of the high level of swearing. But
Don't tell them to ever play games with me then.
Yeah.
If you think
No,
Dota 2 is bad, make sure they stay away from LoL. That community is even more caustic.
That is the worst community I've ever met.
well, to be merciful, if you're playing a game where one person really matters, then one person's lacking can really frustrate people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. That's
It's
true.
a fragile and glorious thing. It's a beautiful, fragile, wonderful experience. And when it works, it's just so great.
Brings
Definitely.
humanity together to tear itself apart.
That's
the
really
best thing I've heard you say all week, buddy.
Like anybody, I like reading. My favorite book of all time is Dune. I really enjoyed Dune. And then recently I went back to read some 1966 science fiction called The Stainless Steel Rat. That's a great book I recommend. The Stainless Steel Rat.
Well, here, actually, that's a good question now. Since you like reading, and you're as big as into sci-fi as a lot of us, and I know I am. That's my biggest thing. That's another reason I got so excited about Armada Online, is because there's such a void right now in space operas and sci-fi and space sims and all. Just because Firefly was canceled years ago, and I still feel bad about that. There's no good sci-fi shows anymore, really, besides Doctor Who, and I wanted a space game. I can't find any good space games that have all those elements of teamwork, exploration, and crafting. I mean, all of that immersion. There's nothing really out there. But anyway, you're into reading, so I went off on a tangent. But you're into reading now. How do you feel about Ender's Game becoming a movie?
I haven't seen the movie. My wife and my son went to go see it after he finished reading it. So she read it again, and then he read it, and then they went off and saw it together. I think it's nice. I mean, I really enjoy the book, and the movie looked like it was okay, and they both seemed to have fun with it.
I'm gonna have to reread that because I saw the movie came out. I was like, wait a minute, isn't that the book? Ah.
Yeah, I have read the entire series, and it was a very wonderful book. I loved it. I'm a little scared to go see the movie because a lot of the movies that they based from the books have scared me. and very rarely is it any good compared to the book.
Yeah.
Like the movie Dune got the tone and style and strangeness of Dune right, but it's a very big departure from the book. If you have not read the book Dune by Frank Herbert, that's a very brilliant science fiction book, and it's a pretty solid standalone book, but it's also a series. The original author wrote 6 books, and it's great. Check it out.
See, I'm one of those people that enjoyed the books, but I also liked the movie, and I enjoyed the miniseries they had on Sci-Fi.
Sure.
I thought they were all great, and I think what people don't realize when you have a silver screen production of any caliber, that what's gonna happen is they're gonna have some creative liberties because they know they have to adapt it to a wider audience. They can't just serve that niche because then it's gonna be they're gonna start it out in the red and never make a profit. So people don't get that. It's like
The time constraint of 2 hours, 2+ hours,
that's
totally
the other thing.
changed.
Yeah. That time constraint is another big thing. But then on the flip side, you have people complaining about The Hobbit, a short book made for kids being adapted into a more serious movie, into a trilogy, and they're like, how are they stretching this short story into this massive thing? That's the other side of the coin. So Mark,
I enjoyed it.
I have an easy question for you.
I'm sure they've all been pretty easy.
Obi, you take this one. You asked a few of your questions right in the beginning.
Hey, man, I really, in high school or in school, did you ever get picked on for being a nerd or getting good grades or just doing whatever?
Not
It's a
really.
2-part question, really. Okay. Now,
Everybody feels
That's a
like
curveball.
hold on.
So, like I might have been attacked a few times, but
Just attack. It's okay.
it was just kids being wacky. Like I can remember the one time where I was in the locker room, standing there in my underwear, and I feel this kid punch me in the arm, and I look up, and I'm surrounded by a gang. I went to a high school in a pretty rough neighborhood,
Mhm.
and there are kids on top of the lockers looking down on me. There are people behind me, and on the other side, and I think they had pressured this guy to pick a fight with me. But it's sort of a dull story because I just looked at him, and then just went back to my business, and he didn't know what to do, and he just left. That's as exciting as it gets.
Well, in high school, getting back to it, when in high school, I really didn't consider myself a nerd. I played football. I was a wrestler. I played baseball. 3 sports. Just I was an athlete. I was one of the jocks. Well, I'm a nerd. Okay, straight up. There's no wrong answer. If you're a nerd, you're a nerd. That's cool. Nerds make all the money. Okay, I don't care. Because what I used to say in high school is if you're picking on nerds, guess what? Those nerds are going to be your boss in about 20 years, right? What are your interests and passions outside of the video games, if you have any extras than what you discussed on earlier? Yes?
Well, first, I would say that any label or definition usually is inaccurate and is a source of suffering for people,
Or
especially
jealousy.
young people growing up. To label some guy, this is the jock or this is the nerd, if they happen to enjoy a particular thing. Maybe one guy likes romance novels, I don't know, but somebody that likes science fiction doesn't have. It's a different type of pressure. It's almost like not a reverse pressure, but if somebody feels that they must adopt the total label of the nerd simply because they might enjoy Star Wars.
Then I'm a nerd because I like Star Wars. So. And then not one person in the world, really. I've got the biggest attitude in the world. Not one person in their right mind is going to come up to me and call me a geek. Sorry.
Sure, but all of those labels are basically artificial one way or the other because they can never fully encompass the full spectrum of that human's psychology or their capabilities. or even properly label their interests.
Right.
So, thinking back to people I grew up with, none of them were statistics or stereotypes. They had their wonderful, wondrous diversity, and I would hope that kids growing up today and communicating so much detail through Facebook that they would not feel pressured to have affectations that fit into labels like that.
Mm. Well, and you got
That's-
to remember too that a lot of the big, like the NFL, the MLB, WWE. I know it's kind of wrestling, but they're got the big programs and the big push for anti-bully and everything like that. I mean, that wasn't the question. Did you get picked on as a little kid? But it was just basically who's a nerd or who's a nerd. It doesn't really matter. If you like to do what you like to do, then whatever.
You started out asking me questions like I'm a dinosaur relic. Now you're trying to find my origin story. So,
What era?
that was the curveball right there. Obi just had to switch it up a
basically,
little
Yogi
bit.
set me up for failure. Thanks, Yogi.
Yes, he did.
Appreciate
Hey,
it, but-
you took creative liberty with that question. My question was, do you consider yourself a geek or a nerd? Is there a difference? Cause if someone called me a nerd or a geek, I'm like, thank you. But I agree with
Well,
you. Like a label, what's
But
in a
no, I
label?
mean, if you consider yourself a nerd, then who cares what you say? It doesn't matter.
the common thread among game developers is that they are into the craft, that they put in the thousands of hours to do one particular thing.
Mhm.
They look like everyone. I mean, there are extremely huge, ripped artists in the industry and even programmers.
I know.
Nobody falls into any particular category. It's as diverse as anyone you ever saw in any group.
Oh yeah.
There's a guy at the gym the other day, and he was just massive. I was like, Jason, what do you, we were talking, I was lifting, and he was spotting me, got up, and what do you do for a living? He goes, well, I'm a software designer. And his guy's like 320, nothing but solid cut muscle. I'm like, nice.
Yeah,
I couldn't even talk to him
like that
anymore
too.
because he was so huge. Shut up.
It's increasingly an information-based society, so
It
a lot of
is.
opportunities and jobs are in that domain,
Yeah.
regardless of what you come from.
That's the currency. The currency of our times is social influence. Social media particularly, and information. That's a big thing. And of course, entertainment's always gonna be a huge thing. But I think it's great to live in a time where people can't just look at you and put a label on you. Back in in the early days of programming, I remember programming in Pascal and Basic. All us programmers were funny looking dudes. I'm still funny looking. I'm okay with that. But nowadays, like you never know who does what, and that's great. You can't put people into simple little boxes.
And to stay
Yeah,
on the
When I was
Sorry.
growing up, it was a shame, but people tried to promote this concept that programming was somehow unfeminine, and nowadays, women in programming is very common. But back then, it was just pretty harsh social pressure. All of my programming classes in high school were pretty much males, and nowadays that opportunity is available to anyone and also all over the world. That's another beautiful thing about the emerging information, hugely emphasizing information society, is that wherever you happen to be, if you have net access, then you have access to libraries upon libraries of information. You can explore whatever it is that you're into on your terms. You don't have to rely upon a lot of institutions.
Yeah. Though it makes me kind of sad. I learned the Dewey Decimal System inside out, and now I feel like it has no use. Now you say that, I tell that to the kids, they're like, Dewey Decimal System, what the heck is that? A card catalog? What?
I used to flip through a card catalog to find information. I did not just type a search term.
Tell them a microfiche. They're like, what did you call me? Microfiche? But here's another question about growing up. I know in my high school we had this big thing called Freshman Friday. Did you ever have that? It's when the seniors would target us the freshmen and like do really bad things.
We didn't have hazing.
That's good. We were not so lucky. I went to military school, so yeah.
You said you went to a bad school. Your hazing was constituted of getting shot at school or stabbed or something like that.
Outside of the school. Outside of the school. But it was a pretty good school inside. We had a good time.
Definitely. Well, to get back on the geek part of that, one of the viewers had a comment for you actually, and basically said nerds and geeks. It's not really much of a put down or an insult anymore, but it just kind of depends on what crowd you're in. I mean, if you're in a cocky crowd or a crowd that thinks they're better than you because of their mom and dad makes more money or something, of course they're going to try to put you down any way they can. So that was just a comment from a viewer when I didn't get to say it because I didn't read it for some reason.
Okay. 2013 just ended, and of course we have the new year of 2014. What you personally is your favorite games of all time, and what would be your favorite from 2013?
Do we need to go
So
to
many good
intermissions?
ones.
All time is tough. I definitely enjoyed sharing Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time with all my kids when it came out again on the 3DS. That was a beautiful experience. Thought it was very extraordinary. But I want to think of games that maybe people have not played that I thought were just very beautiful. Definitely Starflight or Star Control 2. Star Control 2 is a really amazing game that the developers worked together with some modders to make a free open source release. You can run it on any modern system. Definitely check that out. It's pretty good. Pretty great game.
Okay.
I'm a big fan of fighting games, and I do think though that games like Defense of the Ancients are one of the finest experiences out there. It's just a wonderful, approachable, compact, dynamic, varied experience. Multiplayer in general, just like Return to Castle Wolfenstein. For a while,
Ooh.
there's the called Return to Castle Wolfenstein. That was just a brilliant experience. You have the introduction of these classes: the engineer, the sniper, the spy. That was brilliantly well made, and within the scope of 7 minutes, you could have this intense, objective-based game. And I think games like League of Legends and Defense of the Ancients owe something to games like Return to Castle Wolfenstein, where it's about the objective. It doesn't matter how many times you die. However you want to creatively work with your team to pull off the goal, whether it is to destroy a base or steal documents, whatever, when it becomes about just one core objective that creates this huge scope of creative approaches that, you know, one clan might figure out they can crouch and make a human staircase on a particular part of the level and jump in and steal the documents a certain way. Somebody else position snipers in a certain place. It's a lot of fun. I'm sure there are still people playing Return to Castle Wolfenstein.
Oh yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's just a brilliant game. That was a great experience. While we were working on Armada, if we ever needed to cool off on the Dreamcast development, we would play Return to Castle Wolfenstein.
That's what I'll have to try.
I think they're still making mods for that game. Like Enemy Territory is based on the RT.
Right.
That's a great game. I put a lot of hours into it. It doesn't get nearly enough credit for kind of, you know, doing what, you know, Team Fortress 2 and all these other games came around to do. Any other favorites of 2013?
2013.
Or
Well,
all time?
I played some of the new Zelda on the 3DS. It's not Link to the Past. A Link Between Worlds.
Yes. I heard it's really good.
It's good, but it feels a little bit like it's more trying to be welcoming to the young, and that the objects, the symbolic language of what's going on, is supposed to be so clear that it takes away the sense of you figuring it out.
The
But still,
accomplishment.
I mean, it's still a great game. Still a great game.
Did you evict the bunny that was trying to squat in your house?
I paid for all of the items. You
Okay.
don't evict. You just pay for all the items. Then he's sort of laying down and saying that he feels like retiring, but he's not sure what to do with his life.
That's great.
It's the stage I'm at. But I can hear my kids are acting a little antsy. I might
Yeah,
have
so
to sign up.
yeah, we're gonna wrap this up. I know you gotta get going, but I think the last question we wanted to ask, I think we covered most of this. So yeah, you have any closing thoughts? Anything you want to share with everybody about Armada Online or just in general?
It was super nice meeting you guys, and I'm just very thankful for anybody that can spread the word. Since, like we talked about, we basically don't exist if nobody's heard of us.
Definitely.
And to show how very much of a dinosaur I am, I really have not done much video chat. So this was a fun experience.
Well, hey,
when this
I'm
does
impressed
release,
with how I feel like we're right here. We're just talking to each other. It's Star Trek brought to life. Oh,
Well,
okay.
I do want to say, Mark, it was a huge pleasure meeting you for one, and
Yeah,
being
it
able to be able to just play your game. We will have definitely. We really do want you back, especially if this does, and if and when this does go on Steam, or any new stuff you're going to be doing in the future. We definitely do want you guys back.
Yeah, once we're on Greenlight, we have the resources to make a much bigger game. It will be a big deal for us to get on there.
We will be looking forward to that. Boy, I tell you much. But anybody, if you guys do want to try this, this is a Steam Greenlight. You guys can go right into your Google browser and type in Armada Online. It'll bring you right to where you're supposed to be. And just go on Steam and check that out. And make sure you guys like that. Hit yes, just because we do want this on Steam.
And
Yogi?
you can try the alpha. You can try the alpha and then decide if you really want to encourage us or not.
Definitely. Well, I've tried it, and if you guys know me, it takes a little bit to impress, and I am very impressed, Mark. It's a very good game so far.
Cool.
and Mark, feel free to join us anytime. We'll have some roundtable discussions about anything geeky and random.
Did you have one last thing to add there, Mark?
No, just
Okay.
it was a good time. It was a good time. Oh, I was gonna say, Google has a video chat that I saw my family was playing around. You can it tracks your face, and if you click on different options, it'll put glasses or a mustache.
Oh yeah, the Google effects.
So me and Soldier were playing with that the other day.
Yeah. That was gonna be our Skype backup. That was fun.
I like the pirate hat myself.
Yeah, I like the eye patch myself. Anyway, but Mark, we really appreciate you coming on, and we know you do got to go because family, man, got to do your thing. Really appreciate it. Everybody else, we will be right back. This is HorsePLAY. We'll see you guys in a few minutes.
Good night. I don't know how to close it.
There's the. Okay, you got that.
I'll figure out the rest. I'm sure
There
I'll
should
just.
be the little red
Hey,
phone at the
Mark,
bottom.
I'll help you out. Here you go. Ready? See you, bud. Thanks. All right, let this reset for a second. Welcome back. This is Horseplay, and my name is Obi-Wan X2. Up top, we have Yogizilla and Soldier Z, Soldierism down on bot. We just heard from Mark Jordan of Armada Online. And if you guys are just joining us, he just did leave. I definitely can't wait to play more of that game. You guys, what do you guys... I'm not even talking right now. That's pretty sad. I'm not even talking in stream. I had my mic muted the whole time. So, welcome back to Horseplay.
Alzheimer's kicking in.
It is, dude. It's kicking in right now. This is Obi-Wan X2 right here. Those guys over there, Yogizilla up top, and Soldierism down on bot. I didn't say it before, but I figured you guys would know. If you guys do want to tweet us, you guys can tweet. Can't get into the chat, please do. We are all three of us usually tweet all day long anyway. So what do you guys, how do you guys, can you guys wait to play that game again? I can't. I'm really going to play it after the stream, I'm telling you.
I have to say that sadly I can wait, but only in lieu because I'm in the middle of Guild Wars 2 like crazy. That's the only thing that's holding me back. I just you get in that mode where you get back into an older game like Guild Wars 2 or World of Warcraft, and you just get into it and you can't get out of it. I mean, after I get done here, I'm probably going back into Guild Wars.
Mm-hmm. Well, okay. Well, I'm gonna get on there and play a little bit more because I just want to. Boobies. Oh my God, John.
I'm making a deliberate effort not to commit to any one game too much, but Armada Online is definitely at the top of my rotation because I love the co-op element and the dynamics of having like a lot of random scenarios. I mean, when Soldier and I were playing and a bunch of like crazy high-level enemies spawn on top of us, and I'm like doing no damage, and I'm like, head for the hills! Oh wait, we're in space, there are no hills!
Exactly. But we do hope you guys did enjoy that interview, but we are going to get right into just our regular show. We got some obligatory, I can't even say that word. Is it obligatory news coming out for you right now? LOL Season 4. It's starting, guys. Yeah. Is anybody else excited? I know it's starting. It started, whatever. It's starting. Started. You guys excited? I know you guys both play League, so...
I'm not a big ranked player. In fact, if I don't have another 4 people to play with me, I don't even bother with ranked. The actual
You don't
benefits.
even bother with the game.
Shut up! I play it every now and then. Sorry. But yeah, I'm not a big ranked man, so it didn't bother me that much.
Yogi, are you kind of excited about it, or...
Yeah, I'm excited about it. I actually haven't been playing LoL as much lately. I've been playing more Dota 2 and actually
because of all the freaking 400 other games you guys play.
Yeah, that too. The backlog. It's like,
Yeah.
it's like when you play other games online and you go back to LoL, it's like, oh yeah, everybody's an asshole on this game. I remember why I stayed away from it for a while. But I
only play on it with friends.
Yeah, like there's one guy that is a friend of the show, the Greek Geek, and he's always asking me, LOL tonight? I gotta get on the horn with him and play with him. He's always asking me, hey, LOL tonight? And I'm like, yeah, later. And I always end up playing some other game or getting sidetracked. But yeah, I'm excited about Season 4. So, I'm still pissed off that they only let the Snowdown Showdown run for 2 weeks, which is stupid, but whatever.
Yeah.
Right. Well, unfortunately, that is done. But, we can look forward to it next year. Because they do plan on bringing it back next year. Yeah. Okay, but I lost my train of thought. Like, just lost it.
Choo-choo.
Yeah, there wasn't even a choo-choo. It was just a...
Oh. His hamster stopped running.
Dude, I have no idea. Go ahead, man. Here, dude. Go ahead. But we really don't have... There's not really a lot of news this week.
No.
Again, like what Yogi was saying, the Snowdown Showdown did shut down a little... My eyes a little too early, but there's nothing you can do about it. They're not going to bring it back now. So let's just move on. Said Season 4 is started, and you guys can see a lot of the games on several of the different or leagues and tournaments on several different websites. And of course, if you guys do like the Korea scene with Monte Cristo and I want to call him I don't even remember his name. Well, Monte Cristo, anyway, is important enough. But you guys can check that on OGN as well. But what we got some updates there, Yog.
Yeah, just a few quick updates. We've had a lot more followers on Twitch, YouTube, and Tumblr, Twitter, just across the board on all the social medias. Sorry, I had to social medias. So yeah, I wanted to make sure that on behalf of everybody in the show that we really appreciate the support. Keep sharing our content. We're building a network, so individually you support us, collectively you support us. It all comes around full circle and helps us out with the show and helps us out individually too. So awesome, that's especially when we're gonna get more people on the show and try to support the indie scene a lot more, because there's a lot of really great projects out there that don't see the light of day because there's not people throwing their support behind it. So we want to make sure we give those folks a voice.
You just let the cat out of the bag, right?
How's that?
Something we were going to tell him here in a couple weeks.
No, I wasn't saying.
Anyway,
you just blew it up.
Let it out. He's let it gone.
No, right, you blew it up now. I'm just saying in general.
No. No. Anyway, guys, be looking forward to the HorsePLAY network. Yes, we are creating a network. Don't know if that's going to be the name of it exactly, but we're gonna let it out. It's gonna happen anyway because I'm gonna slip up or Yogi's gonna slip up like he just did, but it's okay.
No,
so if you guys
I'm saying it's a network now. Like the three of us are a network now. That's what I was saying. You blew up the spot.
Oh no.
Okay. So I don't even know what they're talking about. So I didn't let anything out of any bags because I didn't have any bags.
He had no bag. He traveled light. His soldier's traveling light.
His bag is cut off and in his wife's purse right now. Okay.
Oh no. I caught that. Teach that woman a thing or two.
But anyway, you guys can check us out. We will be putting that information out here in the next couple weeks on HorsePLAY. So if you guys are streamers, if you guys are YouTubers, if you guys, and we're going to be doing a lot of different things, just send us a comment. If you guys do send us comments on any one of our Twitters, on any one of our fan pages, or on any one of our Facebooks. If you guys do that, we will get to you and make sure that we know that you would like to be involved in this. Because the more the merrier, isn't it, right, Yogi?
Oh, yeah.
More the merrier for this deal?
The more the merrier. Let us know what kind of stuff you like to talk about. If there's a game you like that you like to have people support, stuff like that. And it doesn't have to be just gaming. I think anything geeky that we could rant about is good, too.
Hey, how about this? If we get like 2,000 followers, I'll show my boobs.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Not much to look at, but he's going to show his boobs.
Indeed. So other updates.
How the heck do we get on boost showing?
I don't know. So I'm going to keep going so we can get the image out of our head.
Image is already there, dude.
It is burned for eternity.
Oh. Go ahead, Yogi. Yeah, I'm gonna go throw up.
So, if your eyes aren't hurting and your brain hurting from the inside, I don't know.
Too late.
Last week, I know a few of us noticed that Steam kind of went down, and apparently they had kind of like crash or something. I don't know. That's what I was hearing from a few people. But I definitely noticed on the last day of the Steam holiday sale, it was almost impossible to get anything done on Steam other than opening up your library. And I'm surprised that in lieu of that, they did not extend the sale. Just saying. But anyway, I'm not going to be a whiny gamer,
Balls
about little
dropped,
things.
Steam. Balls dropped.
The ball was dropped, that's it. But I do want to say that we have a Steam community group now that everybody could join, where we'll try to provide some previews of upcoming guests and whatnot. That's going to be a placeholder until we get, as Obi was saying, we're going to get our website up. So we'll have like a little micro blog and a place where you could check out our podcasts, our past updates, and we'll also probably share like each other's videos on there as well. And eventually get on Stitcher and maybe even iTunes, though no one really cares about Apple. Just saying. Those are the major updates. So yes, HorsePLAY is Steam community groups. It's really easy to find us. HorsePLAY was not taken, so we're cornering that market. HorsePLAY on
Yes,
Steam.
Definitely.
All
Play on
right.
Steam, guys. Go join it. Go like us. Go join the community because what you want to say and what you do like to say, we will make sure it's known.
Word.
Definitely. Where are we at, boys?
I think we're gonna talk about some of the community play dates that we like to do and giveaways and stuff. Just recapping from last week.
Definitely go ahead.
All right, so yeah, one of the things that I know all of us would like to do is play more games with our followers, and fans.
Level 3.
My brother just poked in during the podcast and just said something random. I think he's drunk. But anyway,
No
yeah.
comment.
yeah. At the top of the list.
Let me. Okay, if we're doing giveaways, I'm giving away 1 free copy of Armada Online.
You're a jerk.
Here. I'm gonna
That's
get
it.
right next to my mic, so I don't blow everybody up and people can make sure they can hear me.
You're fired.
Soldier, you're a dumbass.
You're fired.
That's all I wanted to say. I'm good now. We're good.
So yeah, at the top of the rotation, obviously the free to play stuff like War Thunder, Armada Online. There's not too many good free to play things. League of Legends, Dota 2. Those are all. Oh, Smite. We play Smite. But we're gonna get into that in the dust off, right?
Mm-hmm.
So.
Okay, I'll do it in the dust off.
Yeah, I know we all have thoughts on that. And there's a ton of games. Hammer Watch, with a lot of us have. Risk of Rain, Magic 2014. We talked about that last time. Skulls of the Shogun. Many of these games are also games that I'm gonna be giving away. So stay tuned on my personal channel on Twitch, Yogizilla, and also on all my blogs and all that stuff. It's easy to find me. You can just Google me. But yeah, I definitely think we should do some maybe start some horseplay LOL ranked teams with our fans just for fun. Maybe do some casual War Thunder, the arcade battles. Because the realistic battles are a little too hardcore, at least for my newbie guys.
As soon as you start feeding, I'm leaving.
Feed.
You start feeding. He said LOL teams. I said as soon as he starts feeding, I'm leaving.
Oh.
Start feeding, I'm leaving. That could be a song. It's catchy.
Yogi. Well, both of you
I was
feeders.
gonna say, I'm not a feeder. I'm an Akali.
You're a feeder.
I'm a kill stealer apparently.
No. It's kill secured.
Yeah, it's not kill stealing. It's kill securing.
That's right, I do it all the time.
I like that. I just wanted to make sure he was dead.
Where's your mark at? Where's your mark at, Yogi?
See my
Yeah. So I was right at the War Thunder part. So yeah, we're gonna do the community play dates really randomly. So just tweet us, any one of us, and we'll try to coordinate it and text each other or tweet each other. So we'll try to round everybody up and see what everybody's up to. But we'll try to
If we get
schedule
enough
some.
People,
Yeah.
If we get enough people saying they want it, we could actually do nightly community playthroughs with people.
Yeah.
And
Maybe not. Depends on what they want to play too. I mean, if we got.
Yeah.
I'm not doing nightly playthroughs of some dumbass shit that I.
You're gonna do nightly playthroughs of Hello Kitty online. I tell you that.
I've already done that, dude. Shut up.
That's actually a really good game. I heard.
I don't know.
Yes.
I've never played it. I've never played it.
I've heard the crafting system in that game is excellent.
I can't even say nothing. I was gonna do a Herbert voice, but I can't even do that.
Well,
That's nice.
we gotta save some of that stuff for later. We can't just use all that good stuff.
in the freezer downstairs if you want some.
Behemoth says more Neopets. Hell yeah, let's do it.
Hey, I love Neopets.
And again, Neopets is awesome. And Pokemon too. But
I remember playing that all the time.
But yeah, if you're part of our Horseplay Steam community group, it'll be easier to coordinate these things because they have the built-in chat and we can schedule things right in there.
Well, let's just say that right there. Let's just say, okay, guys, if you guys do want to play with us and you guys do want to do some fan, being on giveaways, being on playtime with fans and stuff like that, join the Steam community Horseplay. We are going to be, when the website comes up, we're either going to be on the website and we're going to coordinate that way, or we're going to be on Steam community page. So those two places, when the website comes up, we will get you that information. But go right now, if you can, if you got Steam, it's not that hard, and go like us on Steam as well. So when we do talk, you guys can hear us and know what we're doing.
Yep. You can see what everybody's playing. And what I like about the Steam groups is that you can add different games and relate them to the community, so people can see what kind of games we have on our playlist at the time. So it's really neat.
It makes it easier to do giveaways as well if the game is through Steam itself.
Exactly, which all of mine are right now. So you have to follow our Twitch channels and all that good stuff, and follow us on Steam. I can't give you the game if you're not my friend on Steam. So
I'm not your friend on Steam. I kicked you. Screw you.
That's why you're not getting any gifts from me.
You kicked him, and then he said, "Screw you." He wants to either beat your ass or I don't know. What do you want?
Hey! You know what? I like it rough.
All right, never mind. Anyway, we're not gonna do any more commercial breaks because that wonderful interview we had. So we're gonna go right into the dust off, and the dust off is a time in the show where we tell everybody or share with what we've dusted off in the last week. And Yogi, if it's all right with you, I'm just gonna go take mine out of the way, get mine out of the way real quick.
Yeah, go for it.
I didn't write it down, and I apologize for not editing any notes this week, but I've been actually getting back on the console, and I dusted off some Wii games, and yes, we went and did it's called Wii Surf, and it's you actually get on your we have Wii Fitness, and you get on the fitness board, and then you can actually surf, and it's dude, it will work the shit out of your legs. No lie, my legs were sore for 2 days after I freaking played it. And then I went off and dusted off some Xbox games as well, and played some Gears of War, Army of Two, and a not Battlefield. I can't remember the last one.
And you did not hit me up?
Call of Duty 1.
Whoa.
Call of Duty 1.
You can still play that online?
No, it's on Xbox. And this is Xbox One, not the 360.
The original Xbox. Xbox One is Xbox One.
And Xbox 360. Xbox 360 was Gears of War, Army of Two, and then I just said, I found it. I said, well, I want to play this game, so let's do it. And I'd never want to do it again, but I dusted that shit off. I'm gonna put the dust right back on it and send it down the road. It sucks. Because if you think about it, how often? Okay, this is for both of you, and I'm just gonna ask this question just because I'm on it now. You guys got me fucking talking. Yogi, first question to you. No, Yogi, go ahead. What have you been dusting off this? I forgot. That's why. Yogi, dust off.
Alzheimer's,
dude.
Alzheimer's is
it's
strong.
not
with this
that,
one.
dude. I'm telling you, it's something else, and I'll tell you what it is on off stream.
Whoa.
It's herpes.
The gift that keeps on giving.
I acquired something that I've got now from Iraq, so it just messes with my mind. That's all it is.
I want to warn you guys that the new puppies I told you about last week, who got over the holidays, are whining. So if you hear some yelping in the background, I have the microphone gain as low as possible. You're probably still gonna hear them because it's like a high pitch me. It's bad. But anyway, back to the dust off. I played a slew of games and trying to make a dent in my backlog and at least sample every game that I got from the Steam holiday sale. Oh my god, I spent way more than I should have. But I got my snow globe. Yeah.
Wasn't worth it. Oh gosh.
And I had so many cards to trade, and no one wanted them after a certain while. I was like, dude, I'll give them to you for free. You don't even have to trade me anything. Here, I have like 50 of this one card. It's like, here, take it. And forget it. It's crazy. But actually, I have to say I'm happy with every game I got. There's like no game that I got that I said, what compelled me to get this piece of crap. Everything was good. And I like it now because when I do on weekends, I do sample Saturday, sample Sunday on my channel. It's fun. It's fun to just be able to try out new things and mess around and kind of go off the beaten path, right? So I played Counter-Strike Source. I played Global Offensive, which is actually really awesome. And this is the first time I played a Global Offensive. And actually, for a game that's a little older, it's actually got a lot of cool things in there. So I think I'm going to definitely be revisiting that. And Counter-Strike Source is still really fun. So, I'll probably be playing them alternating between those when I want to just, get some quick, clean fun in. Castle Storm, awesome game. I know you were on the fence about it, Soldier, but I actually really do like it. I streamed it, and it plays really smoothly. And
what are we talking about?
Castle Storm. Yeah,
I don't remember that.
Well, that's the one that went out to like $3, and you said, "Well, I know if I get it, I probably won't end up playing it, even though I've had my eye on
the
it."
one where you shot arrows from the tower.
Yeah, it's like part.
Yeah.
It's part like MOBA, part tower defense. It's interesting.
It wasn't bad. I just didn't want to get it.
It's a fun game. It's a really fun game, and the animations and everything are really entertaining. Another interesting game I played was Delver. I meant to mention this last week, but Delver is like Minecraft without all the BS. So like if you always wanted to play Minecraft, like survival modes, but you don't really care about the creation aspects and the exploration aspect. Well, the exploration aspect is still there, but like if you don't care about building things so much, but you like that Minecraft style and the adventure modes in there, then Delver's for you. It's a really cool indie game where it randomly generates dungeons, and it's also a roguelike, so permadeath. So Delver's a really cool game. I like the crunchy pixels as they describe it. What else do we got? We got I play Valdis Abyssal City. If you love Metroidvania style games where it's like side scrolling exploration and like a lot of backtracking once you get certain items to be able to go into certain places, then you'll love that. Very much like classic Metroid or Castlevania. Steam Marines. All right, so I try to do a heavy sci-fi focus. I'm gonna actually skip over some of these, but Steam Marines is one of the games that has a big sci-fi focus. I figured, hey, we're having Armada Online, so we'll do the theme of this show will be, space, the final frontier. That's the whole idea. So Steam Marines is actually really cool. It's like a top-down, overhead view, 2D sprite style, like really old school looking. And it seems like it'd be a trend. I'm doing all these 8-bit games. Or 16-bit games, but it's like it's a roguelike. It generates random dungeons, and you go your Space Marines. You explore the dungeons and try to survive, and it's really freaking hard. Like imagine FTL, but like you control an entire squad, and it's even more of an asshole to you. That's what this game is. So you might have to check that out eventually, Soldier. Interstellar Marines, really interesting early access game. It looks beautiful. The lighting effects in there are really cool. The fog, the fog effects they use. It's got some really cool particle effects, and lighting I like too. I think I mentioned that already. But it's a cool PvP game. Where you're all Marines. Not that much depth to it, but it's pretty fun. The aiming seems a little wonky. But I like it. It's early access, so I'm not going to be too critical of it right now. Play a little more Space Hulk. Still a great game. I like that game a lot. Great remake. I'm not going to mention Smite just yet. I know we're all going to talk about that. Play some more Dota 2. Still haven't played much LoL. I think I played LoL for the past week at all. I need to get back into that. I play more Magic 2014. Armada Online, which I mentioned already, and a surprise game, Football Manager 2014, which I was really, dude, I know. This was one of those real impulse buys. It was like, less than 50. It was like over 60% off, and I was like, this is not really the kind of game I normally get. I thought, and this is the funny part, you're gonna laugh, Soldier. I thought this was football, like American football. And then I got it, and I'm like, oh, this is soccer. Oh, that's right. To the rest of the world, soccer is football. Because that's the one, soccer is the one you actually play with your feet. I get it. Okay. So I was a little disappointed. I had a major dirt moment. Like, this isn't football. This is soccer.
I didn't
But
even bother looking at the screenshots.
dude, I swear every screenshot I looked at did not show people in tight tights. I did not see that. I saw all the like graphs and bars. There's a lot of heavy numbers crunching in this game. And if you like statistics and fantasy football type stuff, fantasy sports, that's what I liked about it. I said, let me try this out. This would be a really different game to add in my library. And I actually really enjoyed it after I got past my derpy moment and realized that it was, not what I expected at all. The other thing that's cool about it, anybody that plays this game and streams it is gonna have a followship because the community in this game is very tightly knit, and it's a pretty big community because I think they've been developing these games for like 15 years or something like that. It's crazy. I didn't even know it was that long of a franchise, but it's a cool game. I like it. Dude, don't shake your head. It's actually a cool game. If you like simulation, you have to like simulations.
I like simulation. I don't like
Sports.
not being in control of it. It has too much of a guessing aspect, even if you
No.
get the high statistics, there's still a chance of losing.
No, there's a lot more control. Dude, you can fine tune
I want
a
to
lot.
kick the ball, dang it!
Oh, okay. You want the real micro.
I like playing the game.
Yeah. That if you want the micro, no. You can't take over a player.
I like managing and playing it, not just the managing.
That's what I like
Reason
about
why
this.
I like the NFL or the Madden NFL games is that they really got into they first start off just the playing, and then they really got into managing it. They even got the college football game to where once you finished your college career, you actually could transfer it to your Madden career.
NCAA 2009.
Yeah.
I love the fact that you could do that.
I hate EA.
And
I hate EA.
and if you had Madden 2010, you could send your college career into the NFL. You could take the draft, you could take the test, you could do everything. It's all customized. And then 2011 came around, and you can't do it no more. Fuck you, Madden.
Really, that was such a wonderful deal.
You can't do it no more.
That's what I hate about EA, dude.
So
They have a
EA
habit.
does not make smart moves.
They have a habit.
Ideas,
Yeah, well, the thing is, they build something great, like to create a team, and then they say we're not gonna put it in the next one. Instead of adding more on top of what they already built as great, they'll add a great feature, but then they'll remove several great features. So it's a paradox because they move forward, but they take 2 steps back, or 3 steps back.
Yeah, but if you're moving forward and you're taking all the fun shit out of the game, then what the hell is the point of moving forward?
Exactly, that's EA. And then not to mention they cut the servers off, so old games that you have, even if it's just a year old, you can't play online. The whole reason I like Football Manager 2014 is because I've always liked in Madden they fuck everything up. Behemoth is right in the chat. The EA is evil. That's why that's part of the reason I'm hesitant to get Battlefield 4. I'm kind of sick of them already. But
Battlefield 4, wonderful game.
it is a wonderful game, but fuck EA.
It is a great game.
Someone else needs to pick up that game.
One of these days, guys,
I did.
one of these days on the show, I'm going to have Behemoth, he's going to be at my house during this freaking show. He lives right down the freaking road from me.
Oh, really? Nice. That's pretty
I bowl
cool.
with him. I bowl with him on Thursdays.
Maybe I'll visit you guys one time. We'll all go bowling. You can see what a scrub I am.
Hey,
I'll smoke.
I'll totally fly up there where it's freezing frickin' cold.
Ugh.
Frickin'
Yeah, not a good idea.
So anyway, Football Manager.
All right, let's keep going. Soldier, what are some of the games that, Yogi, you are done, correct?
No.
I missed that, right? No, you're not. Oh, shit.
Oh gosh.
I'm almost done. I'm trying to wrap it up. And so the cool thing about Football Manager is that you get all the like playbook editing aspects and the tactics and everything, and then you can just set up a game and watch it, and let it stream or record it if you want, or record highlight reels, and you can share the highlight reels. Anyway, Smite. Let's go to Smite. What did you guys think about Smite? Jesus Christ.
How about this? Yogi, or Soldier, what have you
Yeah.
dusted off this week?
Yeah, I'll dust off now. Okay, so I've been getting into quite a few games this past week, in fact. So I joined a new clan, the Seraphim. Really fun clan. And I started out with War Thunder with them. Well, turns out they based themselves out of Mecha Online, if I remember correctly. Mech Warrior Online. And now I'm suggesting this game to the both of you. Wonderful game. You get to control a giant robot. You get to customize them how you want.
Won't
There
play
is
it.
actual,
Will not play it.
Will not play it. Why
Nope.
not?
Tell you about that later. Keep going.
Okay. Anyway, you can actually you can get your robot. You can customize exactly what weaponry you want on it. Everything has each thing has its own drawbacks. If you get too many lasers, you overheat, you shut down. You get ballistics, you run out of ammo. That all different kinds of stuff. Really neat game. Loved it. Love playing it with the guys. I have also found out I got a Hearthstone beta key back in the beginning of December. The wonderful genius of me did not check for it ever. So I've been starting on some of that. I like it as a card game as itself. It's great. So I think I'm going to be posting my first look video probably tonight. If you guys want to check that out, it's what I think of it. It's the tutorial of it. It shows me, and I kind of just learn how to play it. So if you guys want to check that out, I'll be putting the first part up tonight. And also got back into StarCraft 2 today. Just today, in fact. Wow, I miss it. It's a wonderful game. I don't even have the expansion yet. I need to get
Screw
the
that
expansion.
game too,
Screw you, sir. StarCraft is awesome.
dude. I downloaded it and I'm not gonna play that shit anymore either.
So StarCraft 2, wonderful game. I play the crap out of it. I do not play multiplayer. That's too competitive, too quick over. I like building up an army and just destroying.
Yeah.
So, fun game to play. It's a blast. Guild Wars 2. I got it way back when I was a beta player for it. I mean, I pre-ordered this thing and I played the crap out of it for the first month. Stopped playing it because the group I was playing with really went off the edge and just never showed up. But I've started playing it with some other friends who just bought it, and I am having a blast with it. I just got a level 80 character. I'm getting the ins and outs of the game now, and I am just loving it to death. And that is my dust off just for this past week, which is surprising for me.
Well, and that's all I really want to go through every time we
Yeah.
do a dust off is basically, what have you guys just played just this past week? Now this is one game that we've all three played, and we all three have something to say about it. Guys, we've been playing Smite this last week and a half, between here last week and this week. I'm going to go last.
Can I go first?
Yogi, you really want to talk about it. Can you go first? Go ahead, Soldier. Then.
Okay, I'm going to go first because mine's real short. Boobs. The frickin' physics in this thing and the texturing of it is it is amazing. You play as the Arrow girl, whatever her name is, and she does a Nico thing from Japan, and oh my gosh, it's like porn to me, man. I am all over that. I will go in there and I will beat the computers and I will sit there and I will just watch her dance for a half hour. It is amazing. I love it. The textures, the yeah. Okay, your turn, Yogi.
Oh my God. Go ahead, Yogi. Do your thing.
Well, and Neith is her name, and she is my favorite because one, she's free, one, she's curvaceous. Three, and I'm losing count. She's hot, and four, she's actually really good. She's actually a really good champion. You guys hear me? Okay? Am I all right? But yeah, I think Smite is great. The weirdness that they had with the game, like cumbersome controls and some of the glitches, they fixed. It's got a lot more polish now, and in fact, they just released a new update today, which actually last night, I think it was, that made the UI cleaner and made the game a lot smoother. I like the direction it's going in. It's the economy on the game is much cheaper. It's much more reasonable than like League of Legends. You could actually unlock things really cheap or for free without much grinding. So I'm really digging it. It's a good game to add into my MOBA rotation. And actually, I'm kind of enjoying it a little more than LoL. Like I'm kind of like Soldier right now, where I only want to play LoL if I have at least one other person to play in. Like, I don't feel as compelled to just jump in and play a random game by myself anymore, unless I do ARAM. I mean, I just want to goof around. But Smite, I think, is definitely worth checking out. I stand by what I said before. It is easy to get ganked in the game if you don't watch that mini map really hard. And since it's 3D, you're already watching the screen a lot. So I feel like, not having that field of vision makes it a whole different dynamic. But generally, people just meet you head on. There's not much ganking unless you're playing one of the bigger maps. And usually it's just like everybody meeting in the middle and then just total carnage going on, like an arena. There's a lot of gameplay modes too. Did you guys try all the different modes, or?
No.
We just play against the computers, which is all I care.
Because we were just trying to learn how to play the damn game first.
Well, we'll have to jam on that and stream it for our followers. Then make it a horseplay event. So what about you, Obi? What did you think about it?
Well, with Smite, same thing. Boobs, 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 and boobs. And reason it's not all boobs. I mean, it's great, especially like when you're done with the match and you have some kind of like emote going on, and then if you got like the chick that's the archer, she does some spin around her dude. Oh, anyway, I'll be right back, guys. No, I gotta go to the bathroom real quick. But no, it's really a, like what Yogi said. You gotta look. You gotta make sure you're paying attention. And not just in League of Legends or Dota 2, where you can kind of pings and people ping in there, but you don't see it until it's too late and you're dead. And if you lose, you can lose really, really fast, and you can get snowballed on really, really easy. So, yes, am I going to play the game more? Definitely. Am I going to make it a mainstream game for me? Probably not. And that's just my deals,
Yeah, the one thing for seriousness, besides just the boobs that I thought were amazing, what I didn't like about it was, the 3D aspect is amazing in and of itself. I love the fact that they rendered that into it, but you also have to look at it from another standpoint that turns it from a strategy, teamwork-based game, and it kind of makes it a bit more difficult to be more strategy, because it's not, when you're over the top, you can kind of see positioning and everything. You can gauge distances easier. Now that it's 3D, there are times when I've tried to shoot something at an enemy and it misses because I couldn't gauge the distance properly. And that you could probably change that just by playing it more and getting used to it. But it really, compared to other MOBAs, it kind of changes it from an over-the-top spectrum to a third-person spectrum. And it's not a bad thing. It's just it's unique.
You got to get used to it.
Yes, you got to get used to it, and I still love playing it. And as long as I play a chick in the game, I love it.
Oh man.
But anyway, I mean, that's something, like I said, that's something that we're going to continue playing. If we come up with new things and even new strategies for even Smite. Yogi, go.
So yeah, who was it that recommended that? Was it it was one of the people in the chat. I think it was oh god, I'm gonna butcher his name. But yeah, whoever recommended that, we played that. We listened to you, and we'll play it some more. And I know I'm enjoying it, and again, getting back into it. So I don't know. I know we spent a good hour or so chatting with Mark, and we had a lot of stuff planned for this episode, kind of keeping a sci-fi theme going. We still got a few more of our rotating segments going on, and we got the deals for cheap bastards. We had a feature discussion. I don't know. What do you think, Obi? What do you want to do?
I think we're just for tonight. Basically, guys, with our feature discussion and we're going to be talking. You guys can look this up as well, and then we'll actually feature it next week, so you guys can actually have some do's for us, or some don'ts, or whatever. The Rise of Death.
Sorry, I'm just preparing and saying next for episode 6, not for this week.
The feature game of the week, or the feature
discussion
for the week, feature discussion. How's that? Yes. Is the rise of death in video game industry is go.
Go take it over. Okay. So yeah, there's an episode of Dead Pixel Live that I heard on. It's a good podcast. Derek Hopkins and a bunch of other jaded gamers have the same opinion, not just him. And it made me think. A lot of gamers feel like right now the industry is in a downward spiral. Like we're at a plateau where there's no more innovation and it's only down from here. So a lot of the feelings are are all the big developers all dicks. We just talked about EA. Will every gaming company eventually die? Or fail due to arrogance? Like Nintendo, Sony. A lot of things there. So if you want to see the reference point there, it's episode 792 of Dead Pixel Live. You can see that listen to that on Stitcher. But just in general, I think this is a topic we've kind of touched upon many times. Like kind of the things we hate about gaming. Like, we all love gaming, but there's things as far as like even Mark mentioned it, like the politics of gaming that really drags it down, and it's disappointing when people that really put their heart and soul into games can't focus on doing what they love because the bean counters ruin it for everyone else. So that's kind of what we're talking about. It's going to be an epic discussion, and I think we'll probably end up doing some Geeks Engaged and having some call-ins on that, because I know a lot of people want to get on the podium and say, I'm sick of EA, or I'm sick of Activision, I'm sick of Ubisoft, I hate DRM, and I hate having to pay for something that I already have on my disc, and I hate buying something in a digital form and then they lose the license and they pull it off my storage and I can't access it anymore, even though I paid for it already. I mean, there's so much BS going on. It's astounding that we as
whole Steam account, man.
Yeah, dude, that's the kind of crap that's crazy. And like,
I lost a Steam account and this is the back in the day. All right, now I had the brand new Black Ops. This is when Black Ops 1 came out. I had all these games that I bought, and I spent probably $150 on all these games. I was crazy. I did a whole bunch of stupid shit back then. Yeah, I didn't know soldiers, so I didn't know about the cheap bastard part. But I mean, I spent like $200 on all these games, and then I go to log in, and they can't find my password. All right, its password's wrong. It's like, okay, so I'll just go change it. Well, now my username doesn't work. Okay, what the hell's going on? Well, guess what? I lost everything. I had 32 games that I paid for over $200. I can't play them anymore. That right there is the kind of shit that pisses me off. And the reason I stopped playing those games is because I got deployed. I came back to play, can't. Just some of the things that just aggravate the hell out of you. You can't do nothing about it. Anyway, speaking of cheap bastards, Soldier.
Hi.
What's up, man? You got any deals for us this week?
Well, I've been so busy playing the games that I had cheap deals on earlier that I haven't really gone through them. But as you all know, cheapshark.com, place to go to get all the deals. This doesn't incorporate just one website. It incorporates several websites, and it gives you the top deals, and then you can either click to see more deals from that singular website, or you can actually just click on the one you actually want. Torchlight 2 seems to be a big one on sale now on Steam, Gamefly. Very fun game. I've played it. It's an over-the-top. It's if you find Diablo to be a little gory or a bit too mainstream, then Torchlight's definitely the game for you. It's plays a lot like it. It skills up a lot like it, but it has more of a cartoony action to it. Crisis 3 is on sale on GameStop here. It's on sale for $20 instead of $30. If you're a Crisis fan and it just was a little too much for you, then now's the time to get it. I have played Crisis. It's a decent first-person shooter. Need to play more of it, definitely. Here's Castle Storm, what Yogi was talking about. It's on sale, $340 on Steam still. So if you are looking for a kind of a tower defense slash, how would you explain it? A tower shooter. Capture the Flag. Anyway, It's on sale, $340. That's hardly anything when you compare it to all these other games that we've bought in the past. Just a lot of deals on here from websites I've never even heard of, like Greenman Gaming, Gamersgate, GOG, GOG.com. I haven't heard of some of these, although it doesn't look like GOG has any deals by the looks of it. Or Origin. Origin doesn't seem to have any deals. Oh crap, they don't show deals all the time.
Sorry, that was funny. It's a German version. Somebody in the stream chat is like, dude, horseplay is spelled wrong. And I was like, oh crap, nice. I said, wow, I suck.
How'd you spell it?
HOESE.
Oh, we're HorsePLAY.
We're horseplay.
Where
But
the hoes go to play.
yeah. And then Yogi's like, it's a German version.
No. I'm sorry. I bought them at Walmart, bought games at Walmart, and then I went straight to Steam, and I've heard of Amazon. I'm sorry I don't know GOG, okay? I apologize. But we got some sales going on, and Assassin's Creed Liberation's on sale, $16.
Okay, keep going.
And here's something Yogi might know more about. Might and Magic X Legacy Digital Deluxe Edition. It is on sale for $24.
That's a great series. If it's the one I think it is, it's kind of like a precursor to the Elder Scroll games in some ways. A lot of similar mechanics too.
Everyone does love horseplay. XCOM Enemy Within. I personally own that one. It is a great strategy. It's a great strategy RPG. Being able to pick your units and upgrading them how you want. Just different ways of playing it. It's a wonderful game. I love playing it. Let's see here. Any other good ones? Brothers, A Tale of Two Souls. If you like co-op or not co-op games, if you enjoy kind of puzzle realistic games, Brothers, A Tale of Two Sons is a pretty decent one. Let's see here. Torchlight 1's on sale for $375. So if you want to get your Torchlight 1 and 2, you can get them both for under $10. And then you can play through the first one and then play right into the second one, not have to worry about it. Amnesia, A Machine for Pigs is on sale, 50% off, $10 right now. I was never an Amnesia player, never bothered buying it. I'd probably scare myself and I'd never play video games again. I don't like a game where I can't fight back. All right, so.
Definitely.
But Bioshock, here's a big one. Bioshock Infinity, on sale for $10. Originally $40, now it's on sale for $10. For you Bioshock fans out there that are looking for a deal, it is definitely a good one to get. And then RPG Maker's on sale for $30 from GameStop. That's another decent one I hear. And yeah, those are some of the bigger deals now.
All right, of course, everybody likes to find games or find things they like to do, especially online, that don't cost little or no money. So definitely, we're always going to continue to do the cheap bastard section, just because we all are cheap bastards. I'll tell you that right now. We have a few things. We're not really going to go a lot over the Indie Watch. The one thing that we do want to make sure that we do say and put out there is, if you guys do look on the stream right now, we have ArmadaOnline.com. We really do want to see this game on Steam. We really do. If you guys do have never tried it, all I'd say is just give it a try. That's it. And if you do like it, give it a yes on Steam. Because if the moment they do go, and the moment they get on Steam and we can start playing actually more of the game, I think it'll be better. I mean, and from what Mark said, that we might be able to get some insights in the future for you guys, because we might be able to beta test some or alpha test some stuff before anybody else does. Wink, wink. Anyway, do you have anything on that here, Yogi? You want to add something to that, Armada?
Yeah, it's definitely a game that needs to be shared with other people. So the more we can spread it out, it becomes much more fun, with other people. Like even the Dreamcast game, like, it was good by itself, but it was amazing with other people, because it's almost like a party game, but then it's also like sandbox. Like Mark was saying, there's a lot of different things for everybody. and it's cool, man. I love it. Definitely check it out.
Definitely. Soldier. That's all he's got for you guys. Thumbs up.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I can say. We've probably talked about it more than people want us to. Armada this, Armada that, Armada this, Armada. Hey, if I like the game, I'm gonna say it every 2 seconds if I want to, just because it's a fun game to play, especially if you get some friends on there. Now, if you guys do want to try it out, invite me. I'm Obi-Wan. That, believe it or not, I got the name. Okay. I did.
Hey, I got soldierism. Amazing.
I did. I got Obi-Wan. Well, now I'm gonna forever be able to keep my name. So if you guys do want to add me, of course, go ahead. Soldierism, just like his Twitch.tv name right there, or even his Twitter handle. Go ahead, add him as well. Yogi, I don't even know what yours is. Is it Yogizilla?
Yep.
Yogizilla as well. You guys can add us, and we will help you throughout the game if you guys have any questions with it. Unfortunately, tonight, we already did run a little bit over. No free balling. I know we love to free ball, especially you, Soldier, just because, like to let it hang in the wind.
Mm-hmm.
But you do got to keep it up. Wow. I'm just going to shut up.
I'll just go play some Smite.
Dude, yeah, go play some Smite. That's probably smart. I'm going to go play some League after this, but it's... well, I don't even remember what I was going to say. I lost it again. Boom. Alzheimer's.
Oh my gosh, this is the episode for you, Obi.
Dude, it really is, because I'm just not even in there. So, but on that note, Yogi, I just put a couple links up on the actual site here. What's yeah,
Wow.
Yomar.me and Yogizilla.wordpress.com. You guys can check out Yogi's blogs. You want to tell us a little bit about that there, Yog, while we're getting ready to cut out?
Yeah, so Yomar.me, if you go there and check out my Risk of Rain review, I have some details on the giveaways. I also have them on our Steam community group. My other site, my other big blog is dualpassonline.com, but Yomar.me, we'll have the giveaway details there. I'll also be cross-promoting HorsePLAY highlights and events, but the main place is definitely going to be the Steam community group and our upcoming website. So that's really big. So stay tuned. We'll have a website, official blog for the podcast, and then Steam community group and the blog will be like our main hubs.
Definitely. So I am going to leave this up here a few extra minutes, guys. So if you can't, because I know you can't click on it, you guys want to write it down. There's a few little miscellaneous references where we take from and all that. We just want to make sure that we actually give them props for giving us some information. We do keepfly.com, steampower.com, humblebundle.com, and remember, guys, Humble Bundle always has deals, and 10% of all their proceeds to the Humble Bundle store goes to charity. Remember that if you do buy a Humble Bundle deals, which they're all the time, you are still giving to charity, and you can split it up to what you want to do for the game, for the price and everything. But no matter what, the store is going to give 10% of the proceeds to every game sold to charity, which that right there in itself is really good. Kickstarter, Gaming History 101, Hardcore Gaming 101, Wikipedia, of course, allgames.com, Sega Addicts.com, SegaNerds.com, GoodOldGames.com, and SiliconEra.com. That's a lot of .coms. .com. Anyway, shameless plugs. What we want to do is the last part that we do is anything that we do use and anything that we do put out here on the show. We just want to, again, make sure that we give them props. And I think I highlighted that, and I thought you did, Yogi. Give them props for whatever we are using. And the music on this show on HorsePLAY has been provided by TechnoAxe. You guys can go check him out at technoaxe.com. Over 500 different songs that are remixed or he does it himself. I mean, you guys want to make sure, if you guys do want some good sound effects, go check out freesound.org. Didn't use any sound effects just because I'm dumb and I can't get them to work right, but they are some good ones. And make sure that if you guys did miss a part of the show, you guys can check that out on the highlights at Obi-Wan X2 here And you guys can check out the another one on Yogizilla's channel, which is Yogizilla on Twitch. and Soldierism is now on Twitch, which you guys do see that right now. He is actually streaming, and he streams quite a bit. He doesn't do a lot of hardcore gameplay, but when you want to casually play something, he's probably streaming. And if you're playing the same game, I'm sure he'll invite you to play with him. So, but we do want to make sure that you guys are, well, where'd it go? I want to make sure that you guys are put up to all the different stuff that we do use. And because if we can't show you guys where we're going to get it from, why, we might be lying. We're not, but we might be.
You'll never know.
You'll never know. Exactly. I was just going to say that right there. But anyway,
Chateau knows.
guys, make sure to look at the blogs that are coming out, as well as Armada Online and any one of our Facebooks. I think I've only got the only one Facebook in here. Make sure you guys do, if you guys are on Facebook, check out the OB1X2 fan page. I do everything there. And these two right there post on it too. So if you guys want to talk, you guys can't get to them for some odd reason on Twitter or YouTube or Twitch, they're always on Facebook. I know Yogi is because he's on everything. He'll answer you on Twitter. I'm not sure about Soldier.
I will. It's on my phone. Nobody ever messages me, so I can't ever reply.
It
It hurts. Right here, guys.
It
Right
hurts.
between my boobs.
Right. Oh my God, dude. I don't even want to. Oh, man. Avoid Google's long beat stick. Let's play.wika.com. Did I even say that right? Wikia?
I believe that, yeah, Wiki is the proper pronunciation.
Hashtag who let's play for those waiting to avoid YouTube's timeout. As everybody knows, YouTube had a timeout. They had to fix some issues that were happening. We'll get into that in a later episode. And make sure that you guys do check out some of our friends at, or banning per se. We'll get that. We're going to put that on episode 6 too, because I want to get into it. Make sure you guys check out some of our friends at the Gaming History 101, Dead Pixel Live, and B-Team Podcasts, allgames.com, Networks, and Stitcher. GH 101. What does GH stand for?
Gaming History 101.
Oh, Gaming History 101. Okay. Wow, man. And
Don't forget that one.
hey, yeah, it's GH Gaming History. You got it in two times in the same thing.
They're friend of the show. Friend of the show.
Yogi's clean. Go ahead, Yogi. You can keep finishing this up.
2 Alzheimer patients.
Yeah, make sure you check out the Christmas episode because I plug HorsePLAY there, and I'm pretty happy about that. We're gonna get our name out on other places and other shows. So
That's funny.
yeah, the Christmas episode is I think it's titled "Twas the Night Before Christmas," and we reminisce about games we remember playing in Christmases of younger years and stuff. Pretty neat. We focused on like years 91 through like 95-ish, something like that.
Yeah, probably more towards the 95 than the 91.
Yeah.
I wasn't playing much at 2.
Right. And what we do want to make sure that we tell you guys, we are getting ready to cut out here in a second, is for any giveaways, Yogizilla and Soldierism, for right now, are doing some giveaways on their respective channels. So if you guys do want to, make sure you guys check out their follow them on Twitter, so that hey, we're doing a giveaway. If you're not on Twitter, you have no idea about it. It's free games, free stuff, free gear, whatever they're giving away. It's free. That's all I'm gonna say. It's free.
It's free.
Yeah, that's an opportunity to play more games with us and stream with us and stuff.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And make sure to join our HorsePLAY Steam community group. Just because it's not, to us, it's not something that we're not going crazy on, we got to have 3,000 followers. We got to have this, we got to have that. We're just having fun, guys. We're enjoying what we're doing. It's not a professional podcast. It's not something that, oh my God, you guys suck. We probably do. Let us know how to fix it instead of telling us we suck. But anyway, this is something that we... I'm not afraid I haven't even heard that yet. But coming up in future episodes, we do have, is digital downloads good or bad? That's what we're going to come up here in the next week. And
I think Obi's having a stroke or something.
Oh yeah. Well, I guess I'll take it over, and I guess we'll give.
oh shit, I
Hey,
muted my mic. Holy crap!
Oh,
I don't even know
gosh.
how I did it.
I thought
sitting
you.
there talking.
It sounded like you were trying to eat the mic.
No, I'm sitting there talking, dude, and I muted it.
Maybe is it like an
Wow,
Xbox
this is
One?
the most terrible show I've ever had in my life.
It responds to voice commands. You said the magical word. You said the safe word. It's like bondage, you know. It's like you said eggplant, and it was like, oh, I'll turn off now. And then you
Dude, that's like
kept
I'm
doing
sitting
your
there and
thing.
I'm like I'm sitting there talking and nobody they're like, what do you Obi? Is he having a stroke? And then I'm like, oh, my mic's muted. Oops.
It's a new mic, ladies and gentlemen. He's still getting used to it.
I just bought this like 2 days ago. So if you guys do want to know, I don't know what Yogi's using, but I am using an Apex 115 standard and then using what just came with the mic for my cradle. But
I'm still
sorry.
using a piece of crap Turtle Beach that's breaking right here. It's breaking right here. It's stupid. So, guys, donate. Give me a new headset.
So we taste, and that's just basically digital downloads. Are they good or bad? Tony Ray of Firefall, and we're alive. Hopefully, we can get him to come on and give us a little insight in that area. And remember that Mark Johnson of Mark and Roger came on and just helped them guys out. That's all that's all I have really to say because I can't talk anymore. I'm about to die. So,
Okay.
Yogi's-
Hey, let's not
Yogi or
forget
soldier.
let's not forget that tomorrow night, ladies and gentlemen, this is for the people who are into the Elder Scrolls Online. Tomorrow night, the beta starts again at 5 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Eastern. And so make sure you have it downloaded now because it takes freaking forever if you've got it completely uninstalled like I did. And hopefully, I'm hoping that this run is a lot better. I didn't enjoy the last run, but I'm hoping they had some good updates. So for those of you who play that, I will see you tomorrow night.
Yogi, got anything to add for the last little few parts here?
I actually have nothing to say.
Oh my gosh.
Did I just hold you? Wait, you don't?
Hey, hell just got a little colder down there.
Hold on, I got a phone call.
I'm sure I can come up with something, but
Yeah, Dad. Yeah. Okay. I'll tell him. Okay, I will tell him. Thanks. Bye. Hey,
Oh,
Yogi.
it's-
Dad said that you just froze hell over, and he's really pissed off at you. Thank you.
actually I do have something to share. This
it all warmed right back up.
shock top beer that my brother got is pretty good. It's a honey crisp apple wheat cider beer. Not bad.
This is what I want to. This New Orleans original Southern Comfort is really good.
That works too.
Hey, this
I don't
lounge
know.
chair, very comfy.
Okay,
Stole it from an old person.
no. Okay, we're done. But we are gonna, like I said, next week here in the next couple of episodes, we are gonna talk about just a whole plethora, and I know I said that right, of things and topics. Whether it is it important or is it not important that when you record a game, it takes 5 to 30 gigs of your hard drive space? You'll know next week. We'll see you guys next week. This is HorsePLAY, and my name is Obi1X2. We have, I'm going to say it right this time, Yogizilla right there up top, and Soldierism down on bot with his retarded thumbs up. Make sure you guys hit us up. We'll see you guys next week. Peace. Holy crap. Oh, I forgot to turn on the music. Here we go.
Turned it off.
Do 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 do.